Do you really need a New Year's resolution to have an amazing 2025? Hey, I'm Tiffany Sims, the founder of the Modern Woman Society, and today is January 2nd, and I want to talk about some stuff that's going around the internet right now because it's got my blood boiling. And so right now, here I am sitting in my mom's porch recording this video for you because too many people are out there telling you that it's okay to be mediocre or that you need to just push and drive to that next level because where you are is not okay. And I feel like it's two polar opposite messages, both which are really, really toxic and just incorrect. On one hand, you have people going, you need goals and you need metrics and you need to drive. Cool. The question is, are you driving towards things that are actually important to you, or are you driving towards things that you think you're supposed to be chasing? On the other end, you have people being like, dude, it's totally fine to just be here. I don't need to be different. I don't need to grow. I don't need to change. Like, I'm worthy exactly as I am. And that is true and incorrect all at the same time. Setting goals and becoming this best version of you is not about the current version of you not being enough. What if becoming the best version of you was always about learning and discovering who you are and learning what makes you happy and what makes you thrive? Because the truth is that mediocre doesn't feel good. Being less than and always having excuses and feeling icky in your body and icky in your relationships, it doesn't feel good. And I think the reason that we get so caught up in this comparison game around the new year is that we think that our best versions are supposed to look like other people's best versions. And so maybe you're someone who this is the season that you are all about valuing your family, and you see someone setting career goals and you're like, oh, their priorities are off. They don't get it. It's about what's at home. And they're looking at you going with whatever opinions they have of you. But what if neither of those opinions are true? What if each person was striving for the thing that they realized that they were capable of, for the things that were important to them? What would happen? What would that be like for you? I looked up the definition of resolution because I was in the health and wellness field for a really long time before I went into high performance coaching. And it was always about New Year's resolutions. And in my field, everyone wanted to lose weight. Clients came to me because they were tired of being fat and this was the year they were going to lose the weight. And I went through the season of like being the coach that always encouraged setting a New Year's resolution and setting a goal and meeting it. And then I transitioned into the coach who was just like, you know what? You don't need a New Year's resolution. You just need to continue doing the work that you've been putting in. And I've been on both sides of that pendulum swing. And so today, as I was getting flustered by the piss poor advice on the internet, I was like, what is the definition of a resolution before I go and record a video on this? And so I want to read that to you. A resolution is nothing other than a firm decision to do or not to do something. That's it. Why do we have so much energy around whether someone's setting a New Year's resolution or not? It's a commitment to do something or not to do something. We can make a resolution any day of the year. And there's nothing wrong with using a January 1, a Monday, a Friday, a new month, a new job. There's nothing wrong with finding like anchors in your world for a line of demarcation. The world wants to tell you it's cheesy, but that's because they're overwhelmed and they're chasing the wrong things. It's okay for you to make a line of demarcation where it's like, this is no longer going with me. This is no longer acceptable for me not because I wasn't worthy, not because I need to earn my worth and my love and my reason for being here and reason for having enough. It's because I am really getting in tune with who I am. And those habits are no longer serving me. That career is no longer serving me. Learning that actually I am capable of more than I'm doing. And part of the reason I'm miserable is because I'm not chasing and growing into the person I was designed to be. And that's always fine tuning and pushing and pulling levers and turning the dials and learning something new and chasing after that and learning more things about yourself to learn what does and doesn't work for you. I wish I could pull up that reel that triggered me today so that we could watch it together, but I don't know how to do that on my phone right now. But it was just like this thing of like, you don't need to do anything differently. Great. If you're in a moment of peace where you're in full alignment, where your health, your relationships, the way you earn money, everything is in harmony and your life is peaceful and you feel like you are thriving every single day, great. Keep doing that. If you're feeling like things are off and you took a wrong turn that led you down a whole path of wrong turns, that's the moment to pause. Don't just set meaningless goals and resolutions. Pause. Determine what in your life is not working for you. And then decide what needs to change and go after that. For me, this year, it is a big career growth year for me. I've spent the last few years learning to get to know myself. What actually makes me happy? What harmony for me between my health, my relationships, and my career look like? Regulating my nervous system after 40 years of it being dysregulated. And so the previous few years have been more about like learning to be while not becoming complacent and checked out. And this year it's like, actually, now that I am good, the me part, I actually am capable of so much more when it comes to my career. And I want to go learn how to do that without falling back into the old habits and coping mechanisms that I had developed in my really stressful years in my career, right? Because for me, I don't know about you, but for me, there's this really fine line between like that hustle culture and that leading and making decisions that are aligned with my core being. If you've been on a journey and you've been exploring yourself a little bit, you know what I mean. And if you're new to this, and this is the first time you've ever heard someone talk about like being and listening to your own inner voice, just know that it's coming for you. Learn to pause this year. What if your resolution was to pause, assess, and then make a decision based off of what you actually want? I used to say this all the time with my weight loss clients. No one actually cares about how much they weigh and the number on the scale. The reason people want to lose weight is because they feel that they're missing out on something in their current body that they will have when they're at that smaller size. Sometimes it's love, sometimes it's mobility, sometimes it's just not being sweaty when you get to the top of the stairs. Not being embarrassed, being able to go shopping and not having to worry about if there's going to be clothes that fit. Like there's 1,000,001 reasons why we want to lose weight, why people want to lose weight. And it never has anything to do with the number on the scale. That just is the tangible thing that the world told us was important. But it's the why did you want to lose weight? And the same is true when you start to define what is important to you when it comes to relationships in your career. And so a really great exercise for you today is define success for yourself. What does healthy mean to you? What types of things are you doing if you were your healthiest self? Where are you going? How are you moving? Like what kind of clothes are you wearing? Who are you hanging out with? What kind of adventures are you going on? And if right now the answer is tying my shoes without feeling like I'm going to pop, that is the perfect answer. I've been there. That has been my definition of healthy. And it has evolved as I have gotten, not better isn't the word, but as I learned the things that I needed to learn to have a better relationship with my body and in my body, then it was like, well, can I run a 5K? Can I run a half marathon? Can I squat that weight? Can I? It was a whole season of can I's. And then it was, can I listen to my own body without having to weigh and measure all my food? For healthy for me is being able to listen to my body of what it needs without being obsessive about food and meticulously counting and tracking. And so I'm sharing all that not to tell you what your version of healthy needs to be. I just wanted to share that there's many different definitions of healthy, and you need to decide what that is for you. And then I want you to decide, what does success in your relationships look like? What does it feel like? Both personal, professional, romantic, spiritual. What does it look and feel like? What kind of conversations are you having with these people that are important to you? What kind of qualities do the people that you're surrounded with have? What word or words do people use to describe you when you're not in the room? Then here's the kicker. Where's the gap? If you just wrote down a list of words that you want people to use to describe you, are you showing up in the world that way right now? Are you cultivating those relationships in a way that is what people would say about you? If not, those are your goals for this year. How do you fine tune that? And then you do the same for your career. What does success mean for you when it comes to your career and the way you earn money? Because at the end of the day, we need money to pay the bills, keep the lights on, keep food on the table for our loved ones. There's a sense of financial security. And so what is that for you? And if you're a stay-at-home mom and your spouse is the one that's going to work to earn the paycheck, don't sit there and say, oh, but I don't earn the money. My husband does. My wife does. My partner does. How do you support them so that when they go into the world, to go to their job, to go to the career that gives them a paycheck in exchange for a service, that they are set up to do the best that they can? That's how you contribute to your finances. You create an environment where your partner gets to win. And so I really encourage you to do that exercise today and figure out where the gaps are. And then once you know where the gap is of what success is for you, and you look at where you are right now, not with judging eyes, not with hating of yourself, not for disgust for how did I get here? How did I get so far off track? No, just a moment to pause and assess what is the gap. And from there, what are you going to go after this year? What are you leaving behind because it's no longer serving you? I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy New Year, and I love you. Mwah.